Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are talking about my favorites from the month of November. I've got quite a few things here today. I usually like to try and keep my favorites a little bit more concise, but I've tried out a lot of stuff this last month and found a lot of really great things that I really am loving. So we're going to talk about it. I'm going to share it with you guys today. But before we jump into it, welcome to any of you that are new to my channel. I hope that you'll consider subscribing if you have not yet done that. And with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started. So today, just to kind of switch things up, we're going to kind of work our way backwards and start with some lip products. Now, this last month when I placed my Sephora order during their holiday bonus event, I don't even know what that sale was called because I think there's another Sephora sale that's now going on or going to be going on very soon. Sephora is really confusing me this year. But in that haul, I shared with you guys quite a few different lip products that I got, and honestly, everything that I tried out in that haul, I really have been enjoying. But there are two standout products amongst all the other ones, and it would be these two right here. First off, this one. This is the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche lipstick in the color Honeycomb. I am wearing this on my lips today beneath another gloss, which we'll get to in a sec. I can say with confidence that this is the best nude lipstick I've ever tried. It has everything that I look for in a nude lipstick. The color is perfect. It has a tiny bit of pink, a tiny bit of peach, the teeniest bit of brown, and it's also the perfect tone to where it's not too light where it's going to wash me out, but it's also not getting into that deeper kind of medium tone. And the formula of these Amuse Bouche lipsticks I've talked about before, it is so creamy. I put this on my lips and I look in the mirror and they look plumper. I feel like it evens out the lines in my lips. There's just something about this formula that for me, and just the minor issues I deal with having lips that are getting close to 40, this is just the perfect lipstick for me. If they still have this in stock, I highly recommend it, even at its full price point. I got it for half price, and when I checked about a week ago, they still had this color in stock and it was still on sale for $13. One of the best lipsticks I've ever tried. Also in that order, I picked up the Glossy Posse set from Fenty Beauty. And I have to say, I was nervous to try that gloss out because I feel like it's such a polarizing gloss. Most people seem to really love it and swear by it, but there's also quite a few people that just say it is nothing to write home about. There are better glosses at the drugstore. But I wanted to try it out for myself, and I'm happy to report that I really enjoy this lip gloss. This is the color Fussy specifically. I really love this one, but honestly, even amongst the others that I kept for myself, I really enjoy all of them. This color is beautiful, looks good on top of anything. The thing I do like about this gloss is it has that perfect level of color and sheerness to where you can wear it on its own, but if you wanted to put it on top of a lipstick color or a lip liner and still have some of that color show through, you could absolutely do that because it has just a touch of sheerness to it. Love the amount of sparkle in it. It just is really pretty. It's comfortable. I feel like it lasts pretty well on my lips for a gloss. Now, if this ran out on me, would I run out and purchase it at full price? Probably not right away because you guys know that I'm a little bit more budget conscious, and I could certainly get by with some of my favorite drugstore glosses, the Milani gloss, the e.l.f. gloss. There's a lot that I love from the drugstore. But I am really enjoying this, and I'm happy that I picked it up. But I do have one more lip gloss to mention for you guys, and it is this one right here. This is from Persona Cosmetics. This is their Honey Lip Gloss. This was sent to me in a PR package about a month ago. My first official PR package, which I think this is like the third time I've mentioned this on my channel. I hope that's not annoying, but seriously, I was so excited because I am just such a huge fan of Persona's brand in general. And this lip gloss is absolutely lovely. It is a little bit more pricey of a lip gloss. It is $16. But then I was thinking, you know, I have my Milani lip gloss, which I absolutely love, and that one retails for $10. So this isn't a huge stretch above some of my nicer drugstore lip glosses. So if you don't mind spending a little bit more, I think this is such a beautiful gloss. It is the one that I'm wearing on my lips today on top of the Bite Beauty lipstick. And the formula of this is just lovely. I would say this one has a little bit more opaqueness and color to it than the Fenty Beauty one does. But if you are someone that just likes to throw a lip gloss in your purse that you know is going to go with anything and not need a lipstick or a lip liner underneath, this is definitely one I would recommend. I think the color is so perfect, and I don't think there is anyone out there that would not look good in this color of lip gloss. So the next thing I want to talk about is mascaras, and I actually have 3 mascaras to share with you guys today. I know that is excessive. One of them is a repeat from a long time ago, but a couple other ones I just recently tried out, and I wanted to share with you guys because I feel like each of these mascaras would be suited for different budgets, different preferences. I mean, there's different things about them that I love, so I wanted to talk about all three of them. And let's start with the most affordable one, and that is this one right here. This is from Moly. This is their Delight Circle Lens Mascara. I just featured this in my most recent upload where I tried out some Korean beauty products from YesStyle. And in that video, I actually had a bit of an issue with this, so you guys may be surprised at me mentioning this. But it is a fiber mascara, and I got one of the fibers in my eye in that video, which has happened to me before with other fiber formulas of mascara. But because of that, I kind of feel like I wasn't sure what I thought about this mascara. But after that video, I continued to try this out, and once I tried it a few more times, I've had a hard time putting this thing down. I think this does such amazing things for my lashes. It's under $5, which blows my mind, and it wears really well on me. I had no trouble with smudging or flaking. So I am actually wearing this mascara on one eyelash today. I know that's a little bit weird, but I'm wearing it on this side. I'm wearing another one on this side, which I'll get to in a sec. But I just think this is such a good mascara. If you have very sensitive eyes, maybe if you wear contacts, I have another one that I'll recommend for you in a minute. But if you don't mind a fibrous formula, this is such a good one, and it just gives me great length, really good separation. For under $5, if you don't mind a fibrous, volumizing, lengthening mascara, this thing, I think, cannot be beat. So now if you're wondering what is on the other side, this is a repeat that I've talked about before, and it is my IT Cosmetics Superhero Mascara. I finally repurchased this about a month ago, and I've really been enjoying it. I was a little bit nervous because I had heard over the last several months, some of you mentioned that you thought they may have changed the formula of this and you didn't like it quite as much. I still really like this. It's been a long time since I had my other tube. That tube dried out about 6 or 7 or 8 months ago. So it's hard to remember exactly how that one performed, but I think this one still works really well. It makes my lashes look amazing. It makes them super long. It's inky, dark and black, and it goes on very quickly. I don't have to build this one up quite as much. In fact, that's another thing. This one I feel like took about 2 coats to get it to this level, so it does take a little bit more building, but I didn't find that it was difficult to build. This one I feel like you go on with one layer and you get instant volume, instant length, everything that you need from mascara very quickly. It is a little bit trickier to remove at night, but it does wear really well on me. I don't find it to flake or smudge. I just really think this is a fantastic mascara. But the third mascara is one that took me by complete surprise, and this is a recommendation I have especially for those of you that have very sensitive eyes, and it is the BareMinerals Lashtopia mascara. I got this mini in a set that I got as a bonus point perk in my last Sephora order, and I have to say, you guys, I was so impressed with this mascara. The biggest thing being the wand. This wand feels like a cloud. I mean, it just is so soft. I just think if you're one of those people that either has very sensitive eyes, or maybe if you wear contacts and you find yourself getting irritated by your mascara wand or poking yourself in the eye with your mascara wand, this is what I would definitely recommend. It is just the softest brush in the world, yet somehow it does amazing things for my lashes. It gives them great volume, great length. It wears really nicely. It's not too difficult to remove. And I was surprised because this is a mascara that I don't know if I've ever noticed anyone really talking about it. Now, I don't think it gives me quite the intensity that these two mascaras do, but again, for someone with sensitive eyes, I think this could absolutely be a game changer for you. So now I want to talk about a few eyeshadows. Now, one of these is an absolute favorite, and the others I want to talk about because I've been enjoying them, but I have some thoughts on them that I want to share with you guys before I officially declare them as my favorites. But let's start off with the one that I can easily say is a favorite, and it is the Nude Light Palette from Huda Beauty. I am obsessed with this Obsessions palette. It is such a pretty little palette. I think this, especially combined with something that has a little bit more depth to it, like one of the palettes that I'll be talking about next, is such a beautiful palette. On its own, this palette will definitely give you a very ethereal kind of soft look. I think it would probably be best suited for someone with medium to fair skin, but I love the colors in here. They're just so, it looks like you tried, but you didn't try too hard. It's not overly dramatic, and honestly, you don't need to try too hard with these eyeshadow formulas because they're just so easy to work with. The shimmers tap onto the lid in basically one tiny swipe. The mattes blend really easily. They have a good amount of pigment to them. Now, I will say these 3 shades right here, they're not like intensely, powerfully pigmented, but I think that has more to do with the fact that these are just soft colors and they're meant to be a little bit softer on the eyes. Sometimes I think when I work with colors like this, I forget that the purpose of a color like this is to give you that kind of just barely there wash of color kind of look. You can build them up to be a little bit more intense, but I think their purpose is just to give you a hint of soft color, and they definitely pair beautifully with these shimmers in here. The packaging is sensational. If you like something that feels and performs like something a little bit more special, a little bit more high quality, and if you have medium to fair skin, I think you would absolutely love this. So I do have two more palettes that I want to mention for you guys. The next one is the Tati Beauty palette. My thoughts on this palette, I feel like I still haven't completely gathered. I have some really positive thoughts about this. I've been using it a lot and there's some things I absolutely love. So I felt like I should talk about it today because I have been using it so much, and also because I've had a lot of questions from you guys about whether or not I still am enjoying this palette or would recommend it for you. I know that I fully reviewed this palette. I stand by that review, but I do feel like I've gotten to know it a little bit better and how this palette works within the rest of my collection, so I kind of want to give you guys an update on it today. I really do enjoy this palette. I think there are some shades in here that are absolute standouts to me. These browns right here are so deeply rich and pigmented and add such a beautiful level of depth to my outer corner that I actually like reaching for this just for these two shades alone. I am today wearing the Ritual Sequin shade right here, just right in this outer corner, like right by my lash line. That's what you see is giving me that intense depth right there. I love doing that. Granted, you can do that with a lot of different matte browns. You don't absolutely need this palette to create that type of a look, but the formula is amazing. I love these shades right here as well. Absolutely love this color right here. You guys know how I feel about a really good formulated champagne shimmer, and this is probably one of the best I have in my entire collection because it's not so metallic. It's actually a super lustrous and shimmery satin is how I would explain it. But the reason I think that is special is if you are someone that has a lot of lines, or if you're a little bit older, if you have a lot of folds in your eyelids and you feel like chunky shimmers tend to emphasize that, the shimmer in this one actually has almost a smoothing effect to it. I'm wearing it on the inner half of my lid and I just feel like it makes your lids look super smooth and almost blurred. But my hesitation with absolutely recommending this is there's quite a bit in this palette that I don't feel like suits me on an everyday type of level. And it's basically this entire outer section here. Everything else in the middle I feel like I reach for, but that's what holds me back. That's almost half of the palette that I just don't feel like I'm wanting to use or reach for on a daily basis. The glitters are definitely something special and something unique to my collection. I am excited to have these for those special occasions. I mean, I have a couple of occasions coming up throughout the holidays that I'm really excited to get some beautiful glittery looks out of for those occasions, but honestly on a daily basis I just don't feel comfortable wearing this level of shimmer and glitter on my eyelids. It just looks a little bit too glam, a little bit too glitzy for my makeup aesthetic. And for that reason, I automatically know when I pull out this palette that there's one entire row that I'm probably not going to be reaching for. I also know that these pinks are a little bit more bold than I like to go, so there's another row that I know I probably won't be reaching for. And I also don't really use dark grays and blacks very often. So the center section of this palette is an absolute favorite of mine this month, but I just feel hesitant to totally recommend this to absolutely anyone out there, knowing that I don't really reach for any of these perimeter shades. So that's my thoughts on the Tati Beauty palette. That's why I love this palette, and that's why I hesitate with this palette to recommend it to absolutely everyone out there. I will say this, her formula across the board is pretty impressive, so I am very excited to see what the future of her company brings and what she brings to us in future palettes. The last two palettes I want to mention, because I've been enjoying using these so much over the last week and a half, and it is these two palettes right here from Folkloric Cosmetics. Now, I talked about these palettes in my Black Friday holiday stills video, and I did have a few comments from people saying that this brand's eyeshadow formula did not work out for them, and actually I think one person said it was the worst eyeshadow formula she'd ever tried, and I was like, huh, I actually really like it. And at first I kind of questioned whether or not there was something wrong with me, but I started to think about it. Now the pigmentation of, say, these matte shades, this is their Impressionism palette, which I really enjoy. This is, I think, supposed to be a dupe for the Safari palette, which some of you guys corrected me on, but the shades in here are so beautiful, so fun. They do require some building. So if you're going into this palette thinking that you're going to get Natasha Denona or ABH quality, you're definitely not. You're going to get more like Makeup Revolution kind of quality, which I'm okay with. I don't mind spending a little bit more time building up a shadow, but I really enjoy the colors in here, and I do think they're really easy to work with, and they're just so affordable. I think this one is like $12 or $14, and this one I think is somewhere along the same price. This is the Sweet as Honey palette. I love this one as well. The shimmers inside here are very interesting. They're not like a traditional shimmer shade, and I was trying to put my finger on what these reminded me of, and I finally figured it out. These remind me so much of the ColourPop Super Shock shadow formula. So they're a little bit more sheer, they're semi-creamy. I mean, they still have a good amount of impact to them. I mean, look at this swatch right there. I feel like that's a pretty intense swatch. I think this is a beautiful palette as well. I've been super impressed with it. I actually did end up ordering 2 more palettes from them during the Black Friday sale that they had going on. More than anything, I just wanted to see what their consistency was like in some of their other eyeshadows, just to kind of let you guys know if I think the formula is worth it. And that's the thing. I think if these were priced at, say, $50, I don't know that I'd be recommending them to you guys, because I don't know that they do perform as nicely as, say, my Huda Beauty palette, but I think they're pretty darn close considering the price difference. So the next thing I want to share with you guys is the Hourglass Ghost palette. Now, this thing, I have some similar thoughts to what I felt with the Tati Beauty palette. There are some things that I absolutely love about this, but there's a handful of things that hold me back from saying, oh my gosh, this is amazing, you guys should absolutely go out and buy this. Let's talk about the things that I love. The formula of the Hourglass powders, I think, is everything that people say that it is. It is absolutely beautiful. It is amazing. I am wearing this palette on my face today. This bronzer is so beautiful. I have the Diffused Bronze Light bronzer. It's a little bit lighter than the shade. It is just so silky and smooth, and it does have that appearance of just silky smoothness on your skin. I also love the blushes in here. I love mixing these two together. They look so healthy and lovely on the cheeks. Again, I'm wearing these on my cheeks today. I have also been enjoying the under eye setting powder in the center. This is the Diffused Light. I'm not much of a setting powder person, but I do find that this looks really nice under my eyes, or it almost doesn't look like there's anything under my eyes. If anything, it just looks a little bit more brightening, but it doesn't look like a powder, if that makes sense. My first hesitation with this palette are these 2 shades right here. Now, they perform beautifully. The actual formula of them is absolutely beautiful, but they're just a little bit too pink for my skin tone. I find that when I use this one, which is the Dim Light setting powder, it just has the subtlest pink shift to it, which I think you can kind of see it right here. It's just a little bit pink, and I have a very olive undertone despite the fact that I'm quite fair. So I feel like when I put this powder all over my face, it just turns everything just a little bit more pink than I like. I also think this highlight right here, which is stunning, I am wearing this today, is also quite pink toned. So I really only like this highlight when I put it almost as like a blush topper on top of a pink blush. If you have a more cool pink undertone and you are fair skinned, I think this would be perfection for you. And it's not so often that I wouldn't use this. I still think my skin looks amazing when I use this, but I did pay $80 for this thing, and that leads me to my second minor issue with this, is just the pan size of these. I just feel like you're not getting a lot of product in here. I know it's Hourglass. I know if you were to get a full size of each of these, you would spend well over $80, but I know that price per ounce, you're paying quite a bit more to get the variety in here. So if you're not using every single thing in here, or absolutely loving every single thing in here, I just don't know that it's worth the $80 price tag. So that's my only hesitation. I have a hard time saying, yes, go out and drop $80 on this thing, because I have a couple things that I don't 100% feel like work for me. So knowing that you could possibly have the same issue, and that's a lot of money for me to encourage people to run out and spend. So ultimately, I just wanted to share that update with you guys, let you know that I love it. It's beautiful, but there are a couple small issues that I have with it. And after that, I'll let you make your own decisions on how you want to spend 80 bucks. Whew, it's a lot of money. So I know I'm talking too much, but I do have a couple more cheap products to share with you guys, and these are absolute favorites for me. The first one being the BareMinerals Bounce and Blur Blush in the color Blurred Buff. You guys, I am so in love with this thing. I've been having a hard time putting this down over the last week and a half. Now, this with a stippling brush, a small stippling brush, is absolute perfection. I love the color of this. It works so good with like a bronzy or an orange or like a warm toned eye. It's so pretty. It's a really unique formula. It feels like a cream blush, but it looks on the cheeks like more of a satin. I don't know. It's beautiful. It looks lovely on the cheeks. I think this color, it's just go with anything sort of color, perfect on top of a beautiful bronzer. It also lasts really well on my cheeks. I haven't noticed any issues with it coming off. The next one I wanted to share with you guys is also from that Korean Beauty video, and it is the Sugar Ball Cushion Blush that I tried out in that video. This one is in the color number 3, Daisy Coral. Oh, this is so pretty, you guys. This one does remind me quite a bit in the way that it looks and wears on the skin of the Physicians formula, which I have right here, the Dewy Blush Elixir. I mentioned this in my favorites video last month. I still am loving this, but I just haven't been using it as much because I have a lot of cheap products I've been trying out this month. But this reminds me a lot of this one. So if you've had a hard time either getting a hold of this one, or if you think this was a little bit pricey, this one is a little bit more affordable. It looks lovely on the skin. I think it wears just as well as the Physicians Formula one does. I think these are lovely. I feel like by the end of the day, my cheeks still look really healthy and have that kind of healthy color and glow. So yeah, definite favorite of mine. I have been really loving this one. I actually apply this the same way I do the BareMinerals one with the stippling brush. And lastly, speaking of Yes Style, I had to mention the Missha BB Cream. This is such a beautiful foundation. I mean, I know it's a BB cream, but it basically behaves like a foundation. It just is so nice. It has great coverage. It's really easy to apply. I've tried it with the brush, with my sponge, and with my fingers. I find all three to work perfectly. I mentioned in the update in that video that this reminded me a little bit of the It Cosmetics CC cream, but I think this one's not quite as, it's a little bit thicker, but not like in a heavy way to where you feel it on your skin throughout the day, but while you're applying it, it does feel a little bit more thick. It has a little bit more coverage than the It Cosmetics one does, but I love how it wears on my skin. It wears really beautifully all day, and I'm telling you guys, the value of this product, these are about $10 to $11 each the last time I checked on Yes Style, but you get over 1.5 ounces of product in each of these. So basically with these two combined, which when I combine these, I basically get my perfect shade, and that's shade 21 and 27. That's like 3.5 bottles of foundation. So 3.5 bottles of a really good foundation for $20 is a steal. Let me know if you guys have tried these out, but so far I've been wearing these for about 2 weeks straight almost. I think I've tried 1 or 2 other foundations like in that 2-week period just to force myself to use something else, but I just love this. I think it's such a great foundation. And with that, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this monthly favorites video. Let me know if you guys have tried any of these things out. Let me know whether they worked for you or whether they didn't. And of course, let me know what things you guys have been enjoying over the last month. Hope that you guys are excited about December. I am so ready for the holidays. We got over a foot of snow the other day, so it absolutely looks like Christmas outside. And I'm so excited for what December has in store. 2 quick announcements. If you did not check out my Thanksgiving video, make sure you check that one out because there is a special announcement in that video. Hint, hint. Giveaway, so be sure to check that one out. Also, one more quick reminder about what's coming in January. I'm doing a full month of nothing new during the month of January. I am still taking your ideas for video recommendations, so be sure to leave those down below. Let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see from me during that full month of nothing new. But that's all I have for you guys today. Happy December. I hope that you guys have a great day wherever you are. If you're not yet subscribed to my channel, be sure to do that before you leave. And I will see all of you very soon. Bye. It looks like I took a wad of Christmas lights and threw them at the Christmas tree haphazardly. There's so many holes in these lights. Does anyone else struggle with Christmas lights? I get so excited for Christmas, and then I pull out the Christmas lights and remember how much I hate dealing with Christmas lights. How many of you guys have officially upgraded to LEDs? I tell myself every year we're going to do it. We're gonna bite the bullet, get the LED lights. And it's like $75. I just can't do it. So instead I spend $10 and add 1 more layer of incandescent bulbs to my tree. It looks good in person, but then on video I'm seeing all the holes in it. Just do this. There, that looks better. This now looks perfect.